Welcome to a new video. I hope you had an amazing day. Let's take a look at some new malicious compliance stories, shall we? The first story is called Crazy Karen at the Mechanics. I am a professional mechanic and have been for a little over 10 years. I specialize in diagnostics and heavy repair at a do-all shop. That basically means that we work on all makes and models. Now, being mechanics, we have seen the spectrum of customers who get mad over something they did. But this still was something special. It was a normal day when this lady drove her Hyundai van in for a diagnosis. Think of an older-looking Karen. Nothing unusual about her, at first. She comes up and says her check engine light came on and the car just does not want to move like it used to. I tell her no problem as we write up the work order and everything, then I get to work while she waits. Upon pulling the van in, I notice that it is making a noise. So I shut it down and immediately plugged in my scanner to read the computers in the car for errors. And a bunch of error codes pop up. After looking over them, I see they all led in the direction of timing issues. The car sees different positions for mechanical parts in the engine. My thought is that the timing belt jumped, which would be an easy fix. The timing belt is a very critical part of some engines. It keeps the crankshaft and camshafts in perfect alignment. So I open the hood and go to pull the covers to expose the belt and check the condition. And I was shocked what I saw. I found half the belt missing, most likely disintegrated from age. And the other is literally about to break completely. I see a few strands left holding this belt together. It was a miracle that it ran even to get into my bay. We look over it and see the vehicle is $30,000 past the recommend change for a timing belt. It was amazing that this thing even started. We inform the customer and bring her out to the shop and show her what we found. We try to explain it in as layman terms as possible, while still respecting her, as some old ladies know their stuff about cars. She sees it and appears to understand completely. I inform her it's a miracle it even drove in. And I highly recommended to her that she does not drive it or even start the engine until after the belt has been replaced. We go up front and I go over a timing belt replacement package with her for the cost of labor and parts. She flat out says, "No, I don't trust you people." I try to answer any questions she might have, but no. She was not having any of it. I let her know that we will price match any in town and that I have already marked it down way below the normal price to try and help her out. But again no, she wants her car back. I suggested that she tows it to where she wants and she flips on me. I drove my car in, I am going to drive it out. I immediately have her sign a waiver that she understands what can happen and we are not liable. By this point, we have reassembled the covers and pushed the van out to the parking lot. I again try to reason with her that it's a bad idea to run this engine. The belt replacement is only a few $100s compared to the price for a replacement engine. But no, she insists on driving it. She almost refused to pay our diagnose fee as well, until I told her that I can hold the car indefinitely without payment. This whole time I am trying to be nice, but by now, she has been screaming at me and my co-workers for 30 minutes, saying I am holding her vehicle hostage and that I am trying to sell her repairs she knows she does not need. So I handed her the keys, which she basically ripped from my hands and stormed out. We all gathered to see if it would even start. We heard the engine crank. And then a small crackling sound from the engine, followed by a stall. And we couldn't believe it, she attempted to start it again. This time, just the engine free spinning, with no compression. The belt broke and the engine had been damaged. She opened her door with enough force that I am surprised it did not break. She starts screaming at me, telling me that I sabotaged her and I have to fix it. We informed her of her choices and that only made her turn a shade of red. She went into a screaming rage. I could only understand a few words like lawyer, sue, cops, as well as something's very expletive. She told me if we did not fix it, she would call the police and corporate and my managers and Yelp. We just said we warned her beforehand, but she did not listen. The fault was hers and hers only. She starts screaming again in the parking lot and we just went back inside, laughing, with a few of our other customers who were waiting and heard everything. About 10 minutes later, our local police showed up, demanding to know what happened and how we destroyed her car. I go over it with them, away from her. We show them our photo evidence attached to the work order and the written release of liability she signed and they agreed with us. Watching them walk back to her and seeing the grin slowly turn into disbelief was priceless. The van sat in our lot for almost a month while she tried to get our management and corporation to pay for it. But they all denied it. We got a few calls from lawyers, who we presented our evidence to. They also said that she had nothing. I think the best part of this entire ordeal was when she finally came to have it towed. We informed her that she owed us lot storage fees, $15 a day after the 7th day of work completed. The diagnosis she paid was the completed work. The next story is called, I Have to Follow Policy? I'm in the care system. It doesn't particularly matter why, but after losing 6 foster families due to poor matching and shortage in carers, I finally refused to have another foster carer 3 years ago. She decided she just didn't want me anymore, and that was the final straw for me. Because I refused to go to another carer, I have been living in a weird residential program for the last 3 years. It's a nice house, with just me because I don't live well with other kids, and I have carers on shifts, day and night. This program was designed as a short-term respite for kids before they go on to their next placement, for just a few months tops. Obviously, I have been here much longer whilst they figure out what to do with me. Due to the short-term design, the policies are really poorly designed. From them not allowing me a therapy animal and even breaking my legal right to privacy by forcing me to get changed with my door open. I have always hated these policies, and being one of the eldest kids in the program, some of them are downright insulting, like not letting me watch movies when I turn 13, and not letting me sit in the front seat of the car. Recently, they did a redesign of their policies surrounding chemicals within the household. This was problematic for me as an artist. I had to convince them that it was indeed necessary to have turpentine in my art room. One of the additions they made was that we could only use certain brands of things, including shampoo and body wash. Being the true negotiators they are, they decided that as a 16-year-old girl, I shouldn't be forced to use the shampoo they forced us to buy. As such, during a meeting at my house, the team leader told me that if I wanted to use any body product, I had to send them a photo and name, so they could add it to the allowed products list. The following conversation ensued. Unfortunately, we will need you to take a photo of all the products you own and send it through so I can add it to the list. But I have a lot of stuff. Do I really have to? She smiles slightly condescending, yes. But it's going to take me like an hour to take a photo of everything. Do I have to do this every time I buy something new? Yes. Unless you buy it with your own money, you need to send it through. To clarify, you want me to take a photo of everything? I have a lot of stuff. Yes, as per the policy. If you want to use the chosen products, we need to have it in the system. Now, here is the thing about me, I have a germ phobia. I use my own dish gloves, scrub brush, and dish soap. I only use certain mugs in the house and won't allow others to touch my dish brush. And if they do, I buy a new one. One of the problems with this is that at a certain point, a shampoo or soap won't make me feel clean enough. It's irrational, but I can't help it. Once I don't think a certain thing isn't working, I need a new replacement. I hate waste, however, so I always keep the half-full bottles and containers. Don't judge me too much, I'm getting help. My point is, when I told the team leader I had a lot of stuff, I meant a lot. An unbearable amount. On my shower floor alone, I have 16 bottles spread out over 8 different kinds of shampoos, 7 body washes, 12 conditioners, 5 bars of soap in the container, plus 3 different face washes, a bottle of antiseptic shampoo, 4 shave foams and 2 razors. This is only what is on my shower floor. And I'm not proud of it. One last time, I asked her if she was positive I needed to do this. I warned her that I truly had a lot of things and that it was kind of an invasion of my privacy. She sent me this text in response. I'm afraid, per the policy, that we will still need photos of each product with labels clearly visible. So please, refrain from grouping products in the photos. Over the course of 2 hours, I pulled out every product I owned. A full inventory would take too long, but some highlights were 23 kinds of shampoo, 14 deodorants, 27 kinds of conditioner, 19 different bars of soap and 8 kinds of toothpaste. Yes, I am aware I have a problem. This was only what they brought with their money, and I left out the majority of products. Next, I took very carefully shot photos of each product, front and back, making sure no other products were grouped together. Overall, I took photos of over 400 products. Remember, she wanted makeup, body washes, everything. I didn't end up sending photos of everything. I think I took enough to get my point across though. I don't have Wi-Fi in this house. So I had to use what little mobile data I had to send these. My phone is a slightly older model and was already starting to glitch out due to low storage space. It took another half hour to get it to load properly, and then I sent it through, every last one. The team leader's work phone couldn't quite handle the stress of a direct download of several hundred photos. I don't blame myself for this, she saved too much to the phone already, and she chose to click the download attachment button. In short, her phone broke badly. I can't explain what exactly happened, because I don't know. But I guess the phone just couldn't process the size of the files. I didn't hear back for a few days, and when I did it was a very curt email. We were unaware of the number of products you own. As such, we have decided to ignore it. You can disregard the policy change, we will pretend we never knew. The last story is called, Deny My Request? Years ago, I worked as the sole hourly employee on a team with salaried workers. This designation had been a mistake on my initial contract, and my cool boss said she would switch me to salary just as soon as my first-year contract was up. Unfortunately for me, just before my anniversary, my cool boss left and a not-so-cool coworker got promoted. And as you expect, the request was denied. No reason given other than, I don't think it's necessary. A few weeks later, we had this event that had been planned by the old boss. But since she left the company, it fell to the new boss and the rest of us workers to staff it. The location for this event was nearly an hour away from the office. Everyone else could just show up to the location, but being hourly, I had to first go to the office, clock in, then drive an hour. Well, guess I get paid for travel time. The night before the event, we had hired a set building team to put everything together, but someone from our company had to stay until they were finished, per contract with the location. The boss decided to make me stay as I was her least favorite, so the rest of the team left and went home. Well, there were major issues with the set, and by 10, it was just me and the one set builder left in the place as he was trying to make this thing work. The set builder didn't care as he was making a ton of overtime, and besides this particular configuration had been 100% his idea, so he was determined to solve it. I decided I didn't care because I had found some cushions to sleep on. I ended up dozing from about 11 to 5, when he finally finished and we could leave. I then drove an hour to the office, clocked out and went home, which was thankfully a short drive. I had an hour to shower, change and go back to the office to clock in, then drive an hour to meet everyone back at the location at 8. We then worked the event with the boss again assigning me to stay later than her to supervise breakdown. So, in a 36-hour window, I ended up being on the clock for 33 of those hours. Monday morning, the boss has to approve and submit payrolls, and only then does she realize that she has to pay me time and a half for those 33 hours. She actually had the gall to be mad at me for not warning her about all the overtime, which made me laugh as I explained, I didn't think that was necessary since it was your idea to keep me, hourly boss. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.